Hey YouTube, this is me again, Tristan. Alright, today's YouTube video is going to be one, because I haven't done one in a while, of everything I've done since the last time we spoke. Had goodies come in. I've already unboxed them and all that stuff, but I will show them and describe them and talk about them a little bit. They have a little bit backstory, a reason why I'm going this route. And everything here is for my Gen 1. It's a 07 Gen 1 Zx14 with a built motor and it's nitrous. Alright. First off, I have my hardcore composites. And this is the hardcore tank cover. The hardcore tank cover is a lot lighter than that the factory tank. But like I said, it's just a cover. And it's very light. So everything's for weight savings. I plan on going up in class, you know, from the real street, because I used to real street that bike, but it's no longer gonna be a real street bike. Other than that, I have the hardcore 18-inch over tail, and I could have went 12 and I could have went 21. 12 been too small, 21 been just a little bit too long, and I just didn't really want the extra weight, so I went to 18, and I had them do it pretty thick, so I just wouldn't have any problems with it flexing. You know, I plan on coating the inside and all that stuff, so it just won't get any weather damage and all that stuff, and it's a little bit extra protective. And I usually spray like the rhino lining in it. I work with Dog Grip Racing to kind of help me scrape it up and everything. Basically a test fit with a roller chassis to make sure to fit the products that I bought from Todd himself at Dog Grip Racing. Like I said, this is fiberglass body work. It's the 18-inch over tail by Hardcore. And I didn't do catalyst composite because they're shut down. And they're starting to reopen. Other than that, I've seen the headlights. I've been fabbing these up. I plan on, if people want in the order, I can make more and all that stuff, but they're lightweight. I'll be using LEDs in the inside to basically to work with it to light up. I've already test fit some LEDs, some cheaper LEDs, and it was a little bright. But I plan on doing higher quality LEDs, multiple LEDs and stuff like that, so it looks stock as I'm riding down the street. Well, staging and all that stuff, because it won't be a street bike anymore, but while I'm staging and everything, it looks stock, but it's going to be lightweight. Now, to the Dog Grip Racing stuff. Dog Grip Racing supplied me with a fuel cell. And with this fuel cell, it's a 1.5 liter fuel cell, I believe. And like I said, Dog Grip Racing, he's got his sticker on it. Excuse me, I got allergies. And his number is 321-228-1105. And that's by Todd at Dog Grip Racing. And I have a brace. Really can't show you the brace. And then I got some secrets. A secret part that he wanted me to try out. And I really can't disclose that, but because I told him that I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I'm supposed to test it out and get back with him and all that stuff. But like I said, I mean, really can't show it to you. Whenever he releases it, I will do a video on it. But yes, I'll be testing out stuff. And other than that, Todd, what he does is he makes kits for these Hayabusas and Zx14s and all kind of bikes. And these fueling kits, and it comes with the fuel cell, you can get the bracings, you can get the fuel lines and all the connectors. And with that, he sells the fuel rails, billet fuel rails, and he does pumps and all that stuff too. And so I got this 8 AN fuel line, and it goes from the tank to the pump to the fuel filter. From the fuel filter, well, the fuel filter to the fuel pump. For the fuel pump to the bike, the fuel rails, I have 6 AN line. And that's high quality line. this is the breather hose, and it connects to the pump, so all the pressure can release from, and if you overflow it, it actually pours out the bottom of the bike, not the spill over the top. So it's a little safety measure. And then in this bag here, I got all my connectors, and he sells, like I said, everything's high quality. He's got Fragola, all connectors by Fragola, and everything you need in that kit. And then I have here my fuel pressure gauge, and that just connects in to my fuel filter. And then I got an AEM fuel regulator. The fuel pump I'm running is an AEM inline 380 liters per hour fuel pump, and then I got my fuel filter, which is a billet fuel filter. Reason why I just went that route because from when I was looking around, Todd had everything I needed for as far as my fueling stuff. I didn't have to piece around. I didn't have to go and hunt this and hunt that. It was basically everything I needed. I went with hardcore because catalyst was down, and then everybody was telling about the hardcore stuff, and I knew that I was going to have to work with it a little bit to get it to fit. Tide agreed that he would fit it up for me for a small fee to kind of help me out. So he had a bike that he had of his own. It's a basically bike that he used to mock up the fuel cells and stuff like that. He mocked up the whole body and everything for me, cut it, made sure it fit, and everything was flush before he sent it all out. So I bought everything, had it shipped to Tide, and then once Tide received it, he finished up my fueling stuff, sent me everything that as it was coming and all that stuff as he got done with it, and it was stress-free at that point. Now that since I got the bike and everything back in, this is where the stress comes in. The bike's about 65%. The chassis kind of set up, or the framing and everything. The shocks, the swing arm, the front forks, and all sets and all that stuff. Basically, you got to get the fuel system in, the body work on. Other than that, motor's already been done and all that stuff. Like I said before, it's a Carpenter 2 mil motor. Not really gonna get into all the dynamics and all that stuff of it, but it is a 2 mil big cam nitrous motor. But going for all that stuff, and I just plan on testing it out for the early part of the 2018 season. Then when you get into summer and stuff, we're really gonna run it. I highly recommend these two companies, Hardcore and Dog with Racing. They don't pay me to do this, to recommend them, but from what I got, what I'm right here in front of me, I'm very, very, very impressed. I have no gripes, no complaints or anything, and I'm just ready to see this bike run because it's been down for a while now. I did get screwed over by a company that was local. I dropped the bike off, dropped money off, dropped parts off, and they told me they could handle it. Instead of them being upfront with me, telling me, hey, when they decided that it wasn't a little bit too much for them to handle before they start really turning into the bike, they never did call and let me know. So they had me under presumption that, hey, your bike's good, we're gonna take care of it, we're just been a little bit busy. 8 months down the line, I'm picking the bike up, and the bike was in worse shape than it when I dropped it off. The bike was wrecked when I dropped it off because I wrecked it during street racing, which don't do, it's not right. And that was part of my punishment, wrecking a bike at street race because street racing is wrong. But wrecked the bike, dropped it off, brought everything they needed. It was basically cosmetics they needed to put together. But somehow they got to taking my electronics off, trying to rewire everything instead of just putting my body work and stuff and fix my front forks and everything. Then they had other people working on it. When I picked it up, all my wiring and everything was cut, so I had to go to a guy that's local, that's a friend, and me and him had to go through, tear the bike completely apart and start over again. Basically, a blank canvas, right? Basically, it had the outlines, but basically a blank canvas. So we ended up changing the swing arm on it. We ended up from there. We ended up changing the shocks. We ended up changing the front forks. We upgraded the nitrous. Went back to big shots because once before I had a big shot in, but the bike was too short. So now the bike is 80 inches long. We're going back to big shot. So back to big shot nitrous and all that stuff, and we're cutting all this weight and all that. We're just planning on trying to get this bike in the sevens. I'd be happy anywhere in the sevens. Because like I said, this will be my first year back out with it, with the new motor, with the new nitrous, with the new body work and all that stuff, and new shocks, new suspension, basically new wheels. Got lightweight magnesium wheels, and it's just everything's new. So I'll be testing it, tuning it, giving feedback to the people that help me out, my sponsors and stuff like that. Don't have any real big sponsors. They just kind of help me out with products that they wanted me to test out. But like I said, I recommend Todd at Dogwood Racing. Contact him. Look him up online. He's got a website. Hardcore, they have a website. Look him up. Check out the products and stuff like that. I plan on getting back with him. Get a 3/4 front, and I'll do the lightweight composites. I just don't have the money to do the fiberglass. And once I get everything together, I'll probably test it while it's got bare fairings, and then once I get everything dialed in and all that stuff, I'll probably send the fairings out to get painted, and I'll probably get extra set just for backup, just in case anything stupid happens. Other than that, I hope you like my new video. It's kind of short, not as long as the other one. I didn't want to talk your heads off, but hopefully my Gen 2 and my Gen 1 will be real nice. I'll be working on my other Gen 1, which is a 06 1520 with a 1520 Muzzy kit. I still got to find a couple of pieces, and I got to find a case, but once I get all that stuff taken care of, I'll be working on that also. All right, have a good day.